Legendary Series. Hope you guys had a good time watching the quarterfinals. I know I did. We have 4 players remaining, and only one spot to go to the offline finals for the $20,000 land happening in February later this year. We have Kitkatz versus Thijs, followed by Savit and Gara. There is nothing at all for second place and below.
Yeah.
Only first place.
Unlike the previous weeks where second through fourth actually got you an invite back to the next week, there is no next week. This is it. But there's a power-packed semifinals right now. And it would be pretty cool to see any of these players make it to that.
I'm actually happy if any of them make it. All of them are my friends, and I guess I'll introduce them to you because I don't think you've met them before, right? But they're really cool guys, and so we highly encourage you, by the way, if you guys are watching and you're local to the Burbank area in California of the USA, if you want to come down, I believe we're opening up the studio for people to come hang out with us, see the players. I know some people who are local, like I know Reyna can't play in it, but I think he's going to come out and hang out with some people. Hyped, of course, is local. Trying to see if we can get some other people. I know Hafu's actually in the area as well. So maybe we'll have some Hearthstone people just chilling. So come meet them, come watch the finals. There'll be pizza, I think. And if not, then TJ will use his check that we pay him for to go buy pizza, and it should be a good time.
I'm not looking forward to using my check to buy pizza for however many Hearthstone fans decide to come. But you know what?
It's like 500 people show up.
That's the sacrifice.
I was promised pizza.
That's the sacrifice I'm willing to make for the sake of esports, Dan.
I know. Those are PAX money, but I end up using it for pizza money.
Yeah.
Taking a look at the lineup, we have Mage versus Mage, Warrior versus Warlock, and this is Handlock, of course. And then we have Mid-range Druid versus a Paladin, mid-range Paladin. So actually, the aggressive decks lined up, the mid-range decks lined up, and the mid-range or control decks lined up too.
Pretty interesting.
The way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get to see all of these guys' skill and styles collide.
Yeah.
Who's the better control player? Who has the better edge on the aggro? Who has the better edge on the mid-range?
This is the only series where it's tough for me to find like a bad matchup, like a matchup that's just completely one-sided in one player or another's favor. So that's a little bit interesting in and of itself.
What's interesting too is that we have Kitkatz who looked like he was on the brink of elimination. And so is Thijs. Both of them were down 2-1 at one point, I believe, and had to win 2 in a row to get to where they are now. So anything can happen here as we get ready for game number 1, Mage versus Mage. And remember, this is Mech Mage versus a more aggressive Mage. Both are very fast with how they go. And I have a feeling that this game might be decided pretty early on, depending on how some of the draws pan out. But, well, looks like we have a pretty slow start for Thijs here. Well, even the Undertaker.
No.
He gets stopped by the Zombie Chow.
Doesn't really fit in either because, well, I mean, like Mech Warper and Undertaker sometimes have conflicting synergies.
Well, it shows you the power of Zombie Chow for board control. It's one of the very few cards that can go 1-for-1 or even better than Undertaker.
Yeah. And now he's in an awkward spot.
Yeah, because now Mech Warper also gets abused.
He'll just die to Zombie Chow plus a ping. And he can't Mech Warper plus use the Mech Warper's advantage to bring out any other mechs.
Yeah, but I think you're just playing too far behind if you just keep passing.
This is true.
Not to mention you also force, so to speak, a hero power, so your opponent's playing on 2 less mana.
I was having trouble remembering what kind of mage this was from
Kitkatz. He's got Undertakers and the
like
Echo
Death
of
Rattle,
Medivh,
yeah.
so it's a Death Rattle mage.
He had this Paladin Sky Golems as well, so it's just like straight Death Rattles.
Yeah, just Death Rattle.
Up and down the board.
Seems to be the common theme. I like the Echo of Medivh though. It's really cool to have all that synergy to keep going on.
Yeah, it's a way to reload your hand too if you have a fast start. A lot of times if you have a fast start, it's usually good to.
Pretty sure this
hold
is
up.
mirror entity. What's so funny is if he gives him an Undertaker, then he can buff it
Yeah, yeah.
and like scoop it up and do it again. You know, these really funny and wacky scenarios. So like, as much as Undertaker's like, well, you played a 3-mana Undertaker, it's well, more importantly, I have something to deny you. Now, the problem is also Thijs doesn't know it for sure. He's testing for counterspell. He has to make sure, you know, it's not something else that he has to play around.
Mirror Entity gives you such a big tempo advantage. If you get it at the right time, especially if you get it from a mad scientist.
I mean, here especially. So powerful.
Oh man.
Oh my
Gets
goodness.
his own. Wow.
That is really devastating. Now let's see what comes
Test
off here.
first.
If this is a Millhouse Mana Storm. What?
Huh.
A Flamesong Totem? That makes like Loot Hoarder like god tier.
Yes, it does.
It's like in the future you're gonna be able to trade with anything. Also, it makes Sludge Belcher like so good because it can trade everything like so effectively.
Yeah.
Maybe like against like Azure Drake, it kills off the entire body.
You have to find removal to go in between,
right.
and that'll take up your turn.
Well, he does have Frostbolt to eliminate the Flame Tongue, but now like Kitkatz's board is just so resilient.
In a deck that would normally play pretty fast early on has been rendered having to play pretty slow. And this is a pretty good. This is going to build up his board a little more.
Yeah. And his curve is great. He's got Echo of Medivh on some pretty strong minions. And I guess it's pretty faulty to say that this is an aggressive deck from Kitkatz. It looks like another mid-range deck.
I think it has the potential to be aggressive, just like any other Undertaker deck.
Right.
Maybe with the exception of Priest.
It just has wins sometimes that you get, right?
Yeah. But it's definitely pretty versatile.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Well, is it anything stopping you from the Sky Golem here? Is it a better play? It is your most expensive minion, not to mention the Echo of Medivh synergies.
Yeah, you could Loot Hoarder and Echo Medivh. Or you could even Echo Medivh and then just use your hero power to clean up the...
I like the Sky Golem.
Yeah, I think this is the best play as well.
How does Thijs flip this board?
It's just so hard to catch up, it feels, as this mage deck.
I think he might have to get some... I don't even know if he can get lucky rolls on this Goblin Blast Mage. Like, he just hit 4 times with the Goblin Sky Golem. He shoots that and Doomsayer comes out? I don't know. This is really hard.
No, I think Doomsayer would hurt him more than it would hurt Kitkatz at that point. What? Twice? Scavenging a hyena? Really?
It's hilarious. Oh, wait. That's really funny. He can Echo Medivh, play another hyena, and then make it a 4-3.
Whoa!
That's actually hilarious. Not that it's necessarily the best play. It's just it's just an observation.
No.
Might be better just to Loatheb here.
Yeah. Okay.
Does he want to use the coolant so he can save some damage? I
Yep.
think so. It's really good tempo. You're already going to be doing 11 damage next turn.
And Pile the Sky Golem, not only is it really valuable, but 6 damage is a lot. Unlike the other like 6-slot value creatures like Cairn, like it could pump in for some legit deeps.
Wrong game.
Oh yeah, sorry. Pull me on out of there.
How much damage is this? This is 11, 12? Still a little short. He's at 30 health, so he's not worried about losing a race.
You could probably play like the value game here.
As in, copy as many minions as possible. You go for
either
Knife
that
Juggler,
or just
Loot
going
Hoarder,
for
Echo
like a
Mid.
strong board play.
I like the draw the card route.
Yeah.
I think it's really powerful. Um, I wouldn't mind just slamming down the Knife Juggler, Loot Hoarder, and then Echo Medivh.
Yeah.
Draw 4 cards.
Mhm.
I don't know if you should attack first though to like limit your options.
What would he be trading in? I would think.
Oh man, juggle to the face. Brutal. Very brutal.
All right, and he just goes straight face.
This deck's nuts.
Did we see burn in this deck before? Did we see like a fireball or anything in Kitkatz's
There has to be.
death rattle mage?
It definitely feels like it has to. If you have
Yeah.
like Undertaker, you have to have ways for it to snowball and get out of control.
Yeah.
Like Fireball and Frostbolt are such good spells on their mana spot to do spot removal to help you snowball the board. It's just really good mid-range tempo deck. Alright, so the Goblin Blast Mage draws another Sky Golem. What's going on here? Is his last hope to see what the Sky Golem will roll? Oh, he can freeze it. Yeah, he could freeze it and then try to win back the board that way.
Yeah. I think that's the best because he can clear the Loatheb here and clear the Knife Juggler with hero power. Because when the game is this like volatile, I guess at this point, you don't want to have him get a game-changing creature from the Paladin Sky Golem that might win him the game.
Right. At least he's forcing trades though, like so that way Kitkatz isn't gonna be losing a race. Wow, he takes damage, that way he can play the last remaining minions. It's tough.
It's sort of what you have to do though. You're on a very
Yeah, you're in a very short time span.
Yeah.
Loatheb number 2 though, right?
Yeah.
Is this time for Loatheb number 2? No, actually it's time for Leper Gnome.
Yeah, Leper Gnome would
is
just
like
put him on
a way
turn.
to win.
Yeah, he could actually win this turn if
He
he
juggles 2 to the face.
juggles 2 to the face
That's insane.
and then kills his own Leper Gnome. Would he have mana for that? 4? Yeah, he would.
Well, most important thing is that he pings the opponent right now and plays Leper Gnome.
Yeah.
That leaves him 6 mana to do whatever he wants.
Actually would like Loatheb more.
Okay.
Okay. This is a little bit safer.
4, 9, 13, 15. Yeah, it is the safer route. Well, that's kind of awkward. Thijs has some cards that cost a little bit more, some cards that cost a little bit less. Whatever spare part he gets might not even help that much unless it's a freezing one.
6 mana spare part.
Well, he might as well use his Frostbolt then.
Yeah.
What is this Frostbolt going to give him? Usually an average of 8 stats.
Oh,
That's the best case scenario,
yes,
actually.
it is. Yeah, he can actually clear the board.
Yeah, this is partially why I thought setting up the Leper Gnome was a much stronger play. If you play Leper Gnome, Loatheb and ping the face.
He would have won.
Right. It's just like there's nothing he can really do because other than just silencing the Leper Gnome.
Yeah.
Either way, he's still in a really dominant spot.
Yeah.
It's
He
just
can
that the
just,
game has slowed down a lot.
he can just do the same thing again this turn.
Ha 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 ha.
And Pod Sky Golem for good measure. Well, that
Well,
should be.
I guess
Kitkatz.
Nimsh is happy somewhere to see Leper Gnomes be able to be used like that.
Yes, he is.
2, 4, 6.
Not enough.
That's 10, 11 damage. Yeah, looks like he's going to fall short by a pretty considerable margin. And Kitkatz is going to take game number 1.
It's always fun to see what they get.
Jeez.
Jeeves.
I guess there's ways for you to see what the card you want, but there's no need to reveal it.
Yeah. I don't think there's any 4-mana cards that can backfire. Similar to Doomsayer.
Let's see. I don't think so. I haven't played around with too much Pilot Sky Golem, so I haven't seen many scenarios that popped out. I've seen Twilight Drake emerge from it far too many times than I want to.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, it ends up getting destroyed.
It's like the what is the one-eyed cheat?
Yeah, the 2 mana. But even then, sometimes that card's really good because like
Yeah.
I'm playing Druid and I have to take that damage.
Or if you're playing
Gosh.
Pirate Rogue.
Right. But then if you're playing Pyro Rogue, why Pilot Shredder's in there?
That's true.
Yeah.
Ouch. Shot down. Oh well. Well, Kitkatz is going to get off to a little